Pedram, co-founder of U+A.
Martin Dufresne, I'm also a co-founder of U+A and design principal.
The life is a journey. U+A also become a journey since the beginning, where I met Martin back in 2005 in RMJM, then where we started thinking about establishing a company where we can stay away from corporate, but really kind of bring our design philosophy and the way that the architecture has to be for the end user. And that's where we start, sort of with two of us, three of us, and then from that day to now is about 130 people. So it's been a decade of hard work.
Yeah, exactly. It has been hard work, but incredibly we've grown quite fast, and this is really, I think, due to many factors. One is that we've been able to establish a name here with our design, our work, and being very strong-minded in terms of our philosophy and how we want to grow as an architecture practice and as a consultant, and that's really shown into our work. And I think that's one of the reasons why clients keep coming back to us, especially in the region. U+A really is, I think, is a success due to many factors. To start with, as we mentioned, I think we have a very strong philosophy in terms of how we conduct our design and how we work together. But it's also about the team, the various teams that we have, and the careful sort of selecting of the staff that comes into our office. And we're very lucky to have the people that we have, and that's contributed quite significantly to our success. Not just recently, but I think throughout the years. But at the same time, there's also a way that we work, which is a very open-minded office, always welcoming with anyone working here. We always are, our doors are always open because we have no doors. Basically, it's an open studio, and there was that approach, especially in the beginning, that Pedram and I wanted to bring into the company, is that there was almost like just being a family at the end of the day, so that we were all working together very hard, each of us long hours, and for the better of what we actually believe in, which is design and architecture.
To add what Martin said, of course, as any businesses, we had our own challenges since the beginning. Of course, we started very with a very sort of, let's say, long-term plans. But of course, at the first 3 years of our startup, we got to the first recession, which was on 2009. But then coming out of that recession, I believe that the only thing keeps us going was our hard work, our client and our people together, because through the recognition, through the services and the way that we do the design, the recognition to the client become more and more visible. So then therefore we stayed longer, and we try to really keep focused on what we do, despite the fact that we are, of course, as a lead consultant, we cater to all of the services, but we stay focused in our architecture, interior design, landscape and master planning. And I believe that was a big part of our success. Of course, having said that, staying focused again to our design philosophy and insisting and improving that, I think, was another fact that really kind of makes the whole journey again for clients joyful. And as Martin said, the way that we collaborate with the client, it becomes more and more fruitful, because we are not like looking at ourselves on the other side of the table. We take steps with clients throughout the designs or delivery or site supervision. So we do everything together. It's a nice swing from day one to the end.
Some of our notable projects, I'd say, starting from more recently, are to start maybe the floating homes, which we're quite proud of, only because it is a very unique type project for the region, but it's also, in terms of its quality, in terms of the way that the construction was done, very well done. I'm quite proud of the detailing and the quality that came out of that project, both for the architecture and the interior of the homes. We also have a few larger projects that are quite notable, which to start is Midtown, which has been advertised in the last few cityscapes, series of 27 towers. Where we're actually the main consultant, and construction is going on now for the first two phases, where we're coming in as the architect supervising the construction. And again, that's a project we're very proud, not just for the size of it, but also that we're also putting in good quality in a development that is not necessarily high-end luxury. So it shows the care as well in the projects that we do. And other projects that we could mention is the DCH job with EMAR, which will be soon launched, which is 2 towers, residential towers, part of the Dubai Creek Harbour development for EMAR. And that's been quite satisfying in terms of the design. EMAR was very supportive in terms of our ideas, and we had quite a lot of freedom for the architecture for that project.
The Swiss School project was also another success that we delivered to client just recently, as well as a couple of projects for Dubai government, Dubai Foundation, which is a shelter for women and children, which is quite nice, and at the same time kind of a charity or work for a foundation that is non-profitable foundation, because fortunately or unfortunately, we're sitting in or we're living in a city that's quite direct to all of the commercial project, but then we don't see that much of humanitarian or social housing or stuff like that. So I think Dubai Foundation was a great, in my opinion, success in that aspect, right to the budget, making sure everything is well put together. Client was not, let's say, educated in the construction business, therefore we had to take care of everything, which is quite nice. And at the same time, we recently finished a kind of a community villas for Emar and for Meras, which is quite remarkable in my opinion. Each of them has its own success, you know.
Maintaining freedom in the work that we do, especially in the inception sort of stages of the design, is not always easy, and it's really about keeping true to yourself and keeping true to what you actually believe in terms of what you're working. And if that is actually well transmitted with confidence to clients such as Imar and DR and Baraz, they appreciate that, because they do think that coming in as a professional with the experience that we have is really the reason why they come in to us, or like-minded sort of architects that we have, and coming in with this confidence, there's a respect to what we do. Now, it's not for every project, unfortunately, but I've always said this: if I have one project out of 10 that I have full freedom, I'm happy. But in this case, we're quite lucky that it's not just one; it's quite a few out of 10 that we have freedom of design. And another reason for the freedom, really, that we try to express now is actually limited, but it's limited to us understanding the client needs as well. So it's not necessarily going absolutely crazy and having no nonsense kind of design. It's understanding the client needs, but at the same time giving it an edge that the client might not have seen, which is quite interesting for them.
I think the client really appreciated the consultant or the architects who are really kind of respecting their need, but then they're really coming with the innovative and what they call it beyond the limit ideas, you know. So that's why I believe that one of the success is the client trust to the whole organization, and then design to the delivery, and when when the first approach, which is inception, gets through the door and the chairman or the top management gets approval, then the success goes through, and then we are the guardian of the design throughout to make sure that that inception, because normally the higher management of any companies, they're very much involved on the beginning and then they're out until the finished product. So we need to make sure that this journey, which is from inception to completion, is kind of in control.
And it's interesting you mentioned that, because going back to this question about our success, I think that covering the entire scope of work in a manner that is equally important for each stage of the work is something that we hear from clients that is quite rare in the region here, where we are very good at inception, we are very good in terms of the execution of the design, and now in terms of the construction phases as well. So it's about having that consistency throughout, from the white page all the way down to cutting the ribbon to the building. Really just having the confusion, let's call it, of changing teams within the office, of inception concept, and then changing a team to other, by realizing that actually quite early on, is that it's quite important to keep certain key people throughout, right until the end, right until construction, because it does happen in those instances, and I can understand the frustration from clients, is that it gets watered down. So when a client buys a concept, he wants to see it built. Simple as that. So we're here to understand that, and we're here to have the key people that are in our top management of design managers, and myself actually, I'm involved in most of the work throughout, right till construction, to make sure that we do have that consistency, which is really important. The latest project that we've done with Miraz is the Al-Safa Villas, which is in that sense a very good testament to and a good example to what we believe in terms of this consistency. And the reason also why they've come back to us, because they're quite happy with the way that we do conduct different teams and how these people are always under one umbrella of a supervision and someone that understands the philosophy, the design, the detailing that we do.
Yeah, in addition, I think it falls, in my opinion, on both sides, client and us and an architect, because sometimes the client is the one causes all of these issues, sometimes us, but then if the two team works quite collaboratively throughout, the success is guaranteed, in my opinion. But many times we see either way is sort of going to the direction that is not desirable, you know. I think, in my opinion, one thing cannot be vanished is the creativity. You know, we cannot have, let's say we have 10 architects in the room, but we're all architects, but the talent or the creativity falls under one or two, maybe maximum. So that's something that I don't think that is gonna go away, in my opinion. But then one thing can assist us as a consultant or architecture firm is the technology. I think we insist, and we are going to insist even more, let's say technology like BIM or Revit throughout the projects to get benefit and to minimize human error as we go inside, because changing of people and technology using that, we have lots of discrepancies here and there in the drawing. So using technology to make sure that this is out, guarantee that the concept comes from the office, it sort of goes throughout the project. And I think this is the key element which we might focus on, you know, to guarantee the concept goes to the end. I think it's really kind of good to see the companies from Dubai or from Middle East is just branching out to the either UK or we have in Canada. I must say that traditionally we came with an affiliate from Canada to Dubai. However, now it's become a reverse exercise for us, where we go to the stage or to the limit that we believe that we need to be in UK market or in North America market or in South Asia market. So therefore we established in UK with a certain principle, and of course we're growing in Canada by attracting clients from Canada or North America to just grow our business over there. This is a long-term plan that we have, and Southeast Asia comes soon.
Exactly, and being Canadian myself, I'm quite proud of having growth in Canada as well, where we're actually starting off a new project of a 4-star hotel in Montreal, whereas we've just this summer established the office in Montreal to support that project, and it's a very good project on a very good site, a very good location in Montreal. So it's quite a unique opportunity for us. So it's about just making sure that we're able to expand our work and our beliefs and the methods of work that we have into the different sort of areas that clients maybe have never seen. I was just in London last week meeting with some people over there that were quite impressed with our portfolio, quite impressed with the quantity of work that we've done. However, as I mentioned a few times, is that it's certainly not at the detriment of the quality that we produce. I think that we've established methodologies in the way that we work throughout the stages that is quite expedient and able to produce and give a product to the clients that is good quality, but in a very fast time.